Hello, my name is Nicholas Niklick, and you found this link for my resume. I wanted to take a maximum of 10 minutes. We'll stop at the 5 minute mark and then at the 10 minute mark. For those of you reading my resume, I wanted to chat with you about my views of technology. And that's the first 5 minutes. It's unprepared. So if I ramble, I apologize. And then the last 10 minutes will be looking through, last 5 minutes, excuse me, we'll be looking through my code itself. So I view technology in a pretty holistic fashion. Information technology has as its basis many technologies throughout the ages. For instance, cuneiform being the first writing technology to record essentially farm goods and business transactions. Cuneiform is roughly 10,000 years old, and as its basis, as at IT's basis, is the same wish. Technology is a very freeing element of society. Gives the options to those that didn't have them before. Even something as simple as the credit card or the debit card. An IT technology from the past 20 years finds a great deal of convenience as well as safety. Transactions can be recorded. That's important in mitigating fraud, things like that. Let's see. So I love to teach. That's important to note for many of my transactions with technology, interactions with others on technology. I teach it often. It gives a lot of people good vocation, but beyond that, it also gives them power over their world, and that's very important. It gives them power over their world in such a way that they're able to speak for themselves, be it over the internet, over the cable, what do you call it again? Over the over television, but free access cable and whatnot. It's as important a literacy as literacy itself, in my view. So that brings us to near to 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at some code. Okay, so this is the front end controller of a project called Pleasing.space. Pleasing.space is a, let's pull it up and take a look at it. Pleasing.space is currently in Heroku, but it's a free account, so it's going to take a moment to come up. But this is the front end. It's fairly simple, somewhat attractive, but fairly simple, and it uses, in particular, Amazon data and images to populate these links. So these links lead to the images themselves on Amazon with an Amazon merchant ID linked to them, so that Amazon is able to provide a kickback should someone purchase through Pleasing Space. So we'll just do a quick run through that. That was photos. Here's paintings. This one's very interesting. I like that one a lot. Prints and drawings. So it's worth noting that the images themselves are cached after the first download. However, the text is pulled down per object, per item from Amazon. So there is Pleasing Space. Now let's take a look at the code. So these are just one controller will be all we need to take a look at. It's a very simple, straightforward code, and it has a product list array. These are Amazon serial IDs. This is a scope variable that this is an Angular one. This is a scope variable that just set in place, and then for each of these product list items, we slip through, make a call to an API, which we'll be taking a look at, and then on success, it replaces the artworks variable with the JSON data. Very, very sparse. And then it simply asks the digest to reapply with scope dot apply. So that's one controller, and that's ultimately the way the software works. Over in the API side, this is the API that's being called. We're using a library. It's important to know. Slim, framework, and then API API AI IO Apio. That's the way that's pronounced, I believe. And Amazon search keywords, browse node. This is a series of API elements that just quick series of API elements that I targets, API targets that I set up, and this one right here, Amazon lookup ASIN, is the one that we're using. ASIN. So it creates a lookup, a new APIO object, sets a new lookup, sets the ASIN, and then thereafter runs it, and you get XML back from Amazon. It loads the XML, and then JSON encodes the objects, because once you have XML, it acts as an array of arrays with a simple XML load string. JSON encode, arrays of arrays in JSON encode. Our output is objects, and arrays of objects. Actually, it's very, very small. It's a pretty clean system. It runs on a few of my sites, but that is 10 minutes on the button. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down. I thank you for reviewing me. I thank you for reviewing my work. This is a small subset of it. And I thank you for your consideration. Bye-bye.